One per kid. You can. I mean, it's December 1st. I made that. That's amazing. Yeah.
I told you we were
It's nice to plug into like words specific. Yes.
All of us can be students.
So good to see you. Yeah, there's a little bit of that's not Hi. How are you? Hi. How are you?
No one talks. You know, I feel like you need to have a athletic lecture.
It's interesting. I love kids.
We were just counting an hour to get office and rolling all over the place. Yeah,
So that was our plan.
she was fell asleep in the car and it's like I thought it was
Oh, is that a you're smiling?
yeah, I'm very sleepy, but I'm usually
Good you.
Thank you.
yeah.
I have to get away from the habits of my
I
mom.
know. So somebody that was a while ago. Friends were gonna be do you have a good friend Emily who's in Victor?
Yes, I'm in a bar. I always go by her.
she became director of the library. Yeah, so I met her, I was involved with so much involved with the library fundraising, and I got lost getting to where I met her, but she was just lovely. And so, of course we were talking, and she's my close friend. So over the holidays I didn't get her, but anyway, I wanted to let you know. She seems just lovely. Yeah. It's the library. The library is there. They actually won from the National Libraries. Third edition of being the best small library in Teton Valley. And that's amazing. It's such a wonderful place. And one of the libraries, a young library, they're really close to, and they're suddenly leaving the valley for a while. Brianne Holiday, and I really feel bad. She's actually Jewish, and I have one of those. I feel bad. It was nice meeting you. Listen, are you paying attention? Are you listening?
But your voice is enough, it's very long.
All right, you can
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Oh, let me try that again. Giving Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat giving shalom. Welcome to our Shabbat Thanksgiving gathering. Shagiving, it's a very technical term. And let's start tonight just with a little bit of opportunity for greeting each other. So I would like for folks to find someone you don't know. And go introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm John. Yeah, from the early days. I'm still as
He's actually patrolling.
Yeah, I came.
His excuse to get excuse.
Well, he's not yeah, I know how you came up with it.
Hi, I'm Larry.
Hi, Barb.
Your daughter is adorable. And those 3 girls hanging out.
She's got her mom's good look, right? They're about as cute as they get. It's amazing how fast she's growing up, though. It's kind of scary. She tells me how good we're just... Make sure her mom's good looks. I shouldn't. I used to have once upon a time. Once upon a time.
Yeah, I once had
Yeah, a long time ago.
Well, I already know you.
Back in the day.
folks. I need all the kids. All the kids, come on. Kids, we need all of you up here. We need all the kids up here. Dior, come on over. Dior, I see you.
I had a headache today because I got up at 4:30. It's a great service. I'm working all day.
Take a moment and we want to have our whole community share a bunch of love with you all. Okay? And so if you want to, whatever you want to do as adults to send your blessings over here, maybe you want to hold up your hands to try to shoot the power of the blessings from your hands this way. Ooh. Maybe you want to do the Kohanim blessing or Spot. I think he was a Kohanim. But shoot those blessings over to these beautiful kids, and we're going to use some ancient words that have been being said in our community for literally some of these words for thousands of years. Bless all your kids. You ready for it? Okay, are we ready for it? So let's take a second and let's see if we can actually, whatever it might be, send energy this way. Okay? And you guys, I want to see if you can feel that energy coming your way. Okay? Feel it? Oh yeah, Rose, look at Rose. Rose is sending some really good energy. Good. And then listen to these words. Simcha Elohim Ephraim V'Achim Menashe. May God make you to be like Ephraim and Manasseh, some of our ancestors. Simech Elohim Sarah Rachel. God also make you to be like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And these are these ancient words that have been said for thousands of years. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Yafer Adonai panav elecha v'yechudecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha. Shalom. May God shine upon you. May God bless you and watch over you. May God shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may the source of all love look towards you and grace you. You can stay up here for the rest of the night if you want. Hang out with me and Judge. Is anyone feeling particularly inspired to light the Shabbat candles?
Louie. Do you want to light the candles?
Where are they?
Don't be shy.
Wow, Melissa, nice.
Melissa, who not too long ago celebrated her daughter Sasha becoming a bar mitzvah.
Louis.
Louis.
You all join me on that?
We're gathering not just for Shabbat, but to also to also celebrate early Thanksgiving. And I'll talk in a little bit about some of the connections between Thanksgiving and Shabbat. They're very technical and go back a long time. Wait for it, you'll hear more. But to be able to create the space to share a meal together and really celebrate this Shabbat and Shabbat Thanksgiving, we also have a shortened service. So we'll say a blessing over the kids as we did. We'll say a healing blessing, a mourner's Kaddish, a couple other songs, and then we'll go over dinner together. And I'll share a little teaching just to make there will be a little context connected to gratitude. But let's start with a blessing for healing. Let's take a moment and direct our hearts and our energy towards healing that is needed in our world, healing needed for our loved ones. So I invite you, if you know that the loved ones you might be thinking of are okay with their names being shared in public, I invite you to share the names of loved ones you're thinking about for healing, and then we'll say we should bear our blessing for healing together.
Say my own name.
Melanie Bell.
John Goldstein.
Bart Clayton.
The Sales family.
Sharon Ford. Deborah Ryan, Mary Lopakar. Al Donald.
Kathy Duet, Todd Jackson, Doug Levin, Richard Brown.
Shalbara Bagroza, Devorah Chaya, Bagir B'Tidol, Miriam Bachishana, Fadol Ram, Yehuda Ben Chaim, the Devorah, Francis Schiller, Tali Gerard, Tali Gerard, Howard Nance.
Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalom, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
So there's a connection between Judaism and Thanksgiving, and it is not pilgrims. I don't think. I haven't found that connection yet. But I want to share a little teaching that I learned recently, and then I'll tie it back to a connection between Judaism and Thanksgiving. Does anyone raise your hand if you watch the show Bluey? Oh, yeah. Okay. The demographics seem to align with what I guessed.
Hey, Josh,
Yeah.
which show you got to speak on?
Oh, the show Bluey. It's a phenomenal kids show, but I think it's really an adult show hidden in kids show. And it is about a family of dogs in Australia. Oh, sorry, healers. Sorry, the healers. Bluey. And there was an episode of Bluey that happened. We thought it was the last episode of Bluey. It was a closing episode last season, and they told a parable in the middle of this episode, and it's a Chinese parable, and I want to share it with you. And so you gotta imagine this is like a dog teacher teaching a lesson to dog children. Can you picture it? This is how it goes. There was once a farmer who was raising his family and was raising horses and had a horse, and one day the horse escaped. And people came to him and said, "Oh, you must be so upset. This is horrible. Your horse escaped." And he said, "We'll see. We'll see." And then the next day the horse returned, and along with that horse, it came with a herd of wild horses that came gently into his paddock, and all of a sudden he went from 1 horse to 10 horses. And his neighbors and everyone came over and said, "You must be so ecstatic. This is such good news. You now have 11 horses instead of 1. That's fantastic." And he said, "We'll see." And then later in that week, one of the wild horses that had come into his possession kicked his son and broke his son's leg. And everyone said, "Hey," they were Jewish farmers. "You must be so devastated. Your son's leg is broken." So horrible. He said, "We'll see. We'll see." And later that week, the army came by because they were conscripting people into the army. And when they came to take his son to conscript him in the army for the war that was ongoing, they said, "Well, your son can't join because his leg is broken." This is a Chinese proverb, and it teaches a Taoist lesson, at least as best I understand, or it's a lesson taught by healers in Australia, dogs in Australia, or both. And I was actually thinking about this as it relates to Shigiving and Thanksgiving, and I'll circle back with that for a second. I think the piece that I'm most interested in is our Jewish traditions are deeply connected to gratitude. Deeply connected. So does anyone know anything that jumps out to you? How are our Jewish traditions connected to gratitude? What's that? Brachos. Brachos. Blessings. All the time. All the time. We are meant to say 100 brachas, 100 blessings a day. That's what our sages suggest we do. We're supposed to bless things and say thank you for this and that and this and that 100 times a day. Maimonides splits up gratitude and blessings into a number of different ways. He talks about the importance of and the requirement of us to say blessings when we're sick and we've been healed, when we've traveled and when we've returned, or when we've been imprisoned, and you can think about that physically or metaphorically, and when we've been freed. That we're required to have an opportunity to say blessings at that time. He also talks about 3 types of blessings: blessings for material joy and religious duty, and blessings for thanksgiving and praise. This is built into our traditions. Has anyone here joined our morning prayer group? We don't have morning prayer group folks, but I'm sure we do on Zoom. Are you joined yet? Our morning prayers, gratitude is built in. The first thing we're supposed to say in the morning when we arise, Modeh Ani. Thank you, God, for giving my soul back as I arise, as I wake up. The second prayer is all about gratitude for our bodies. It literally says, thanks for letting the things that allow things to go out and the things that allow things to come in to work. And then we say our morning blessings, which is a series of blessings for everything from the day coming, from nights, to there being ground over the seas. Our tradition is filled with gratitude. But here's the thing that's most interesting to me that I learned recently. There's also about a piece of our tradition that's tied to the delicate balance of challenge and beauty in our lives. So there's a teaching that specifically comes from our Mishnah, from our traditions of our rabbis, that talks about the necessity to bless things that are good and the necessity to bless things that are bad. Just sit on that one for a second. We have a tradition to bless the good and bless the bad. And this took me right back to beauty. Right? We'll see. We'll see. I think at the root of this, there's something deeply connected to an awareness in our traditions that if we can create a practice of gratitude through the beauty and challenge of our lives, there will be value to that. And we know this medically. We know there's studies that show that if we have gratitude practices, there's a study that was done of 300 adults who had gratitude practices and other adults who did not, and they saw better mental health outcomes in the adults that had gratitude practices. You can see this in MRI studies. We have a doctor here who probably would know this better. But there's been studies looking at MRI when you are engaged in practices of gratitude, it lights up specific parts of our brain. Medically, religiously, spiritually, there is something about being grateful that is important to us.
Kind of like saying happiness isn't a destination, it's a practice. And it's like you don't choose or get, you have to practice it. And so I think by practicing gratitude, it brings joy.
Beautiful. It becomes a consistent practice, and that practice engages parts of our brain, engages parts of our souls, and develops those neural pathways. And sometimes it's hard. Like sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get the words "Mode Ami" out of our mouths. But if we build those practices when we can't, at some point we will adjust.
It's almost like your depth of your blessings are also sometimes mirrored by the depth of your sorrow. Sometimes I feel like the peaks of your joy are often mirrored by the depths of your sorrow. And it's almost like that, you have to have one to have the perspective to be able to feel the other. I don't know where that comes from, but I feel like that. Parenthood was the movie I saw that I first, that first was like shown to me, but like, it's sort of like your deeps are as high as your high, as low as your high of your high.
And that practice of gratitude, if we can build that consistently in our lives, it allows us to ride those ups and downs of life. It's a miracle. And it allows us to put turkey hats on too. Yeah, that was for Rose, but I love that. So as we jump into a Thanksgiving dinner, I think my desire for all of us is to recognize that when we go through this next week and we're thinking about Thanksgiving and we're thinking about the things that we're grateful for, know that deeply embedded in Jewish practice is practices of gratitude. And so consider waking up and saying the Modeh Ani. Consider thinking about a gratitude journal if you're not connected to our traditional prayers. But whatever it is, know that building a practice of gratitude has value in our lives and is deeply connected to Jewish practice. And we're going to start that in just a moment when we say some blessings before and after we Shabbat Shalom. Kaddish. Barb, I want to take a moment and share how much love and support we have for you at this moment in time. May this community, may this place, may Hamakom, may God wrap you up in love and support as you mourn the loss of your mom. We love you very much. Love you very much. As we say the Kaddish, Barb, we remember Bat-Sheva, Bat-Ruvain, Beverly Shitty. Zichrono Levacha, may her memory forever be blessed. If you are in a period of mourning, if you're remembering a loved one and you'd like to share their name, I invite you to do so, and then we'll recite the mourner's Kaddish.
David Zachariah.
Jacob Stromsborg, Kurt Axelrod, Shelley Gurin, Richie Blasco, Doug Bellis, Rosalie Gallagher, Elizabeth Biddle. The mourner's Kaddish should be on page 43. Let's go rise during the period of mourning, or rise in support of those who are. Yitgadal, Yitgadal, Shnei Ra, Be'amad, Yivra, Pirute, Be'amlik, Machute, Be'chayechon, U'yomechon, U'chaye, Dochon, Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Yizman, Kali, Be'imur, Amen. Yehei Shnei Rabba, B'varach, Yalav, Unei, Amen. Yitkarach, Yishtabach, Yitzvahar, Yitzvamah, Yitzvaseh, Yitzadar, Yitzaleh, Yitzallah, Shemei, Yishah, Rehu, Le'ela, Mikol, Yirchata, V'shirata, Tushachata, V'nechumata, Damiran, Be'amah, V'yirur, Amen. Yehei Shlach Marav, Amit Shemayim, V'chayim Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yirur, Amen. Oseh Shalom V'yomah, U'yaseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael, ve'al Kol Yoshei Tevel, ve'yirur. Amen. Amen.
Oseh Shalom V'yomah, U'yaseh Shalom Aleinu, ve'al Kol Yisrael. Shalom,
dinner's ready. The turkeys on the chocolate turkeys on the table are for the kids. One each. And not more. So, okay, don't take two, just take one. Any questions? Rose, you can't have one.
I'm like, I don't know how to count.
Anyway, Shabbat Shalom, everything's over there.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, so we'll Shalom Aleichem, we'll sing, and then as we get our Kiddush going, so feel free to grab some wine. Shalom Go ahead and grab some wine or juice so we can do a Kiddush.
Why don't we gather over here, y'all? Come on over here. Come on over, come on over.
Do you guys need some Kiddush?
Kiddos, come close. Y'all, Mary made So here's what we're going to do. You need to be either touching the challah or touching someone who's touching the challah, so make a chain. And what I'd like to do is once we're all connected, we're going to have one little addition to this blessing. Okay? Come on, kids, go in there. Okay. So a little bit of a new Shagiving tradition that I'm going to try to institute. Ready for it? Before we bless the challah, before we use our traditional structures that we have to bring blessings into the world, to say the things we're grateful for, I want us to actually dive into our hearts and take a moment to think about something that you're grateful for at this moment. And if you're inspired and you're willing, I'd like you to just share a word or two of what that is, and we'll do it as so inspired, and we're going to use our blessings from our hearts, from our lives, to then bring blessing into our community and blessing into this bread. Physical therapy.
Family.
Family.
My grandchildren, my grandparents left the Ukraine, and I'm grateful every day.
No detectable cancer.
Yeah.
Good help.
Little kids.
This community.
Yeah, for our wonderful community
Yep.
and for our fresh air.
And for our fresh water.
Mm-hmm. And some snow, please.
From New Hampshire.
We got a daughter coming back.
We'll all be together.
Mary being home.
Oh.
Mary being home.
Not life.
Aiden just said hamster. He's thinking.
Yay, that's a good
Sweet. For anyone else? Y'all, for all these things that we've said, for all these things that we hold in our hearts, we are grateful, and we are grateful for the things that sustain us. Motzi.
We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our grateful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.